Welcome back, everyone, once again to a new installment of Screenplay Rewind. I'm Geoff.
I'm Ron.
Uh, man, we watch we watched Beerfest for this week's recording, and I'm gonna open us up with a quick question, Ron,
Okay.
because before I forget about this, I wanted to make sure to get this question in before we get distracted by all the other questions and shit. This was making me think, Ron, what is the most shit-faced you've ever been in your life?
Oh my god.
Because I have an answer if you needed time to think about it.
I've got two. They're about the same. So one of them, I basically didn't survive the night. I woke up basically sleeping on the toilet, covered head to toe in shaving cream.
Nice.
Yep. Some good friends there. And then the other one
was it Bobby? That sounds like something Bobby
No,
would
it was
do.
not Bobby. It's actually some friends I went to high school with. It was actually my buddy Justin was going away to the Navy, and it was his send-off. So it was a good time.
Nice.
We had
None of you remember any of it.
No, I don't remember anything but waking up. But I can tell you, it was a great night, and I was ready to be shaved. Then the other night, I'm no longer friends, unfortunately, with this individual, so I can't back it up. But Bobby can probably back it up because I think he's probably heard this story from both of us individually. I do not remember this night, but somehow I was so fucking drunk, I managed to almost get a chick that was engaged to go home with my buddy. And that's about all I remember because we were playing pool a couple tables over from these chicks, and he was really into one of them, and I was drunk enough. I was like, well, let's just go fucking talk to him.
I like when you reach levels of like peak beer fest, you're just like, I was gonna be a homewrecker, man. What do you mean?
That was the night. I think I've told you.
Challenge fucking accepted.
I've told you part of the story before because I told you that that back then it was called Magoo's. I don't know if the place is still called Magoo's or not now.
Oh, did they rename that? I'd actually be kind of sad if it was no longer Magoo's.
I don't know. I haven't been down that way in a while, but we were there often enough and buddies enough with the staff. We weren't friends with the staff, but we were buddies enough with the staff that we were still playing pool when they had all the cash out on the pool tables, like for the night, like doing their accounting before they go home.
They're like, these guys have wrecked so many potential marriages. These guys are chill.
And that night we were still hanging out with them, playing pool and hanging out with the staff. But yeah, I've told you about just hanging out there before, like after hours. It was pretty much that night, and that was the night that my buddy Steve got us some shots, and his toast was that I was like the best wingman or something, and I was like, yeah, you're my best friend, but I fucking hate you, and that was mine when I clinked the glass.
Yeah, that sounds like something you'd
and
say.
That's all I remember. But I'm pretty sure Bobby heard that story from Steve, and then later heard it from me, so he can probably corroborate it. But yeah,
Bobby's the ultimate like non-reliable narrator though, so I don't trust the fucking thing that guy says.
Do you trust? Which one do you trust more, me or Bobby?
I trust you more.
Oh, I
know that's a very low bar to clear.
That's that fucking 1-inch ledge that's your enemy in Dark Souls. That's what that is.
But that's just because like Bobby is, like, we talked about it before, like he's the ever enigmatic intern? What is he now, intern?
Executive intern?
Like yeah, he's the executive fucking enigma dude for a reason. Like I can never tell when Bobby's being serious. He's the fucking Riddler, man. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a hard man to read sometimes.
He is. It's like I want to play poker with him, but I'm also scared because I think I'll just like wake up in a ditch with no money and no clothes.
And it's not because he's serious, it's the opposite. Like he's always goofing off so much that you can't tell when he's telling the truth. Not, he could be straight up telling you what he's holding in his hand, and you wouldn't believe him.
Have you ever watched any of the like I don't even probably I remember the last time I've seen one on there. I don't even know if they still show up, but like like when poker became like a big thing, they would show it on on the ESPN2 and shit. And like all the people would have like sunglasses on to cover their eyes.
Yeah. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's the darkest fucking room.
Right. You'd have the whole table, everyone wearing sunglasses, but one dude. And it's that guy. That's the guy you gotta be worried about, because that guy doesn't give a fuck. That's the Bobby. That's the Bobby of the table. And I'm afraid to play poker with him, but I want to just because I'm curious.
I'd have to learn poker. I know. I'm good at Balatro.
Yeah, you played Balatro, so you can figure it out. You know most of the hands. I like how nobody can agree on a pronunciation for that game, by the way, and the creator of the game was just like, I don't fucking care, call it whatever you want.
Yeah, no.
I'm too busy counting my millions of dollars to give a shit about what you pronounce my game as.
Watch out for fireballs. They said that all of the Latin pronunciations for the words say Balatro.
But then the dude also just said, I don't fucking care.
Yes, and they made the point that communication is designed to get the point across. So who the fuck cares? Everybody knows what you're saying.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
So the most fucked up I've ever been, this was the ending of 2016, which was one of the all-time just shittiest years of all time for pretty much everybody. I was at a New Year's Eve party bringing in 2017. And because 2016 was so bad, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to get absolutely hammered. And I don't remember the last 3 or 4 hours of 2016 because I got so fucking drunk that night, dude. I was at my friend's house who was throwing this party. I got so shit-faced, I threw up in the bathroom and then fell asleep on the bathroom floor. and my friends just kind of sanctioned off the bathroom for a few hours to let me sleep it off. I woke up on the floor of my friend's bathroom at 4 a.m. and I was like, what the fuck did I do? I felt like that scene in Beerfest we'll talk about right when they're trying to train and they're all dying. That's what I felt like.
That's how I felt, but I woke up head to toe in shaving cream. Same story, but I woke up head to toe in shaving cream, and only you know what my glasses look like. That would be about the only part of my face you could see.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore, man.
Dude, I can't do that anymore so fucking hard that watching the movie was painful when they were doing that shit. Like watching them chug the boot and stuff, it hurt to watch it.
It's rough.
That's how old I am now.
Dude, the last time I drank half as much as I used to be able to, I was in agony, and it does not work out well for me anymore, to the point to where it's like, even if you have a fun time, it's not fucking worth it for me anymore because I am just in agony the next day. So sick.
Even the few times that we did Two Drunk Souls, I was in so much pain the next day. It was ridiculous.
Dude, that was a great idea, and that was also a fucking terrible idea.
Which is what makes it the best idea.
I've a couple times later on, I've gone back and watched segments of that
I
stream.
am terrified too.
The funniest
because I know
part
it's gonna be like Barry with the goddamn box on his head, but the way he sees himself versus real life.
The funniest part is if you kind of time lapse it and then just skip forward in 30-minute segments, you can just progressively see us become completely unaware of our surroundings because we're so.
And we're on the same boss every time you click forward.
Yeah, and then eventually you fast forward and there's just yeah, I fucking love you, man. Yeah, I love you too, man.
I have been that drunk, and Bobby was there for that.
And then fucking Chris and Bobby were doing the what was leading to us having more shots brought up, people were doing the hydrate stuff too, they're just fueling the fires. It's trying to fucking kill us.
Yeah,
good times.
You know the meme of the two giraffes crossing the road, and one of them, it looks like it's being dragged by the other one, and it's like, come on, Steve, let's get you home. That was literally me and Steve in Vegas. I was literally dragging Steve into a taxi, and I had to pay the taxi driver extra because he was like, no, he's going to throw up in my car. I'm like, he won't throw up in your car. And he's like, he's going to throw up in my car. I'm like, you don't understand how much liquor this man can hold. He's not going to throw up in your car. And our hotel was only like halfway down the strip. It's within walking distance, but he can't walk. So I'm dragging him into the cab, paying the guy extra, and then so he'll even move the car, and then dragging him into the hotel. It was literally that meme of the two giraffes.
I love how you lived out what could pretty much be the a sequence from a Hangover sequel.
Basically.
The idea of having to, he's going to throw up in my taxi. It's like, fuck you, man.
Some of the best drinking memories I have were at my buddy John's condo. We would just get shit-faced and fucking rowdy. Like, there was a few nights where Bobby would just be standing there in position holding the sofa cushion, and we were just ramming him as hard as we could. We would just take off running across the room and shoulder check him into the cushion, and he would barely move or whatever. And John was the type of guy that if you piss him off, he turns into the fucking Hulk. So Bobby said something to him, I don't remember what, but he actually knocked Bobby pretty far back on the next run.
So it's like the unstoppable force and the immovable object.
Exactly.
The immovable intern.
Yeah. No, it's good times though.
Yeah, it's good times. You just have to think
the
back
best of my memory.
You just have to think back to the times where you're barely conscious, and then completely forget about the times when you were just puking your guts out the next day, and the idea of existing was torture.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
In your prime drinking days, what was your drink of choice to get drunk?
What was probably the most common one is because it was the most common to have at parties was Fireball. That's probably partially why I don't like it now. Because I associate it with wanting to kill myself the following day after fucking drinking it.
So I know I've told you this story before because we talked about it on one of our Two Drunk Souls streams. I remember telling you about this. The night that I woke up covered in shaving cream, it was Goldschlager. Mm-hmm. And Justin was the one I told you was making his signature drink the Starry Night. Because once you pour the Goldschlager in, the drink's totally dark except for the little gold flecks. And it looks like stars on the night. And as he got more drunk, mixing them, they turned into Starry Evenings, was the joke. And I do not drink Goldschlager, and I do not remember that night.
I feel like the ones that would... I don't know if you had the same experience, but I almost feel like some of the worst ones were if you drank enough beer to get messed up. Those are some of like the most like sick I would feel the following day, just because if you're drinking liquor, it's very concentrated. It's like you're getting like a lot. It's like you're gonna get fucked up quicker, and it's more alcohol like directly. But if you drink, like 10 fucking beers, all the hops and everything combined, it just makes you so fucking sick.
Well, I'm sick by my second one. Beer has never really agreed with me well. Do you get hangovers? Do you get like the headaches and the light sensitivity?
I don't get the headaches or the light sensitivity. The thing that happens to me is like I feel like I'm going to throw up. And then I throw up, and I still feel like I need to throw up, and that's kind of like my reaction to it.
I basically don't. I wake up dehydrated and sick to my stomach, but I've never had the light sensitivity. I've never had the headache. I'm usually just kind of nauseous all day the next day, and it's not a fun feeling.
The nausea sucks.
That same buddy, John, I missed the night where they just bought a bunch of boxed wine and got drunk off of that.
I can't do that. I hate wine. It does not agree with me.
I really like wine, but he was like, dude, I'm gonna tell you, the best drunk I've ever been was on wine, and the worst hangover I've ever had was the next day. Like it was both the best and the worst.
It was the best of times.
It was the worst of times. But yeah.
Oh man. You want to get some of our questions?
Sure. Let's see. Questions and comments. So this time I did my diligence. There's nothing new on Apple, nothing new on Spotify, and I didn't see anything in the email. But on YouTube, we've got a few. We got one we missed last time. I'm going to start with it.
Okay.
So this was 4 weeks ago now. Original Sin writes, this is on the 13th Warrior, by the way, which I would contend probably one of our all-time best episodes, I think.
It is probably the most researched episode we've ever done. I don't know if that's where we went wrong. It's like there's too much information. I don't know.
I don't know. It's one of the most researched, and I think it's one of the most on-topic episodes we've ever had. 51 minutes in and hardly any talk about the movie. You guys suck. Worst video ever. Thumbs down emoji.
Another satisfied customer.
Another satisfied customer.
You know what, Ron? It's a real shame how, like, when you press play on the YouTube video, the video just plays in a linear fashion. It just progresses in a linear method like time, and there's no way to skip forward or skip back, or you're just stuck there completely out of control. Yeah, it's just a real fucking bummer. It's also just a real fucking, real shocker how we always talk about how we open up specifically every episode with the Q&A section.
Yep.
And how there was a Q&A section. I guess we just should have buried the lead better. I don't know.
I thought about clicking over to 51 minutes and seeing how close he was to what he wanted. How long was that episode?
I also contemplated just like we start this episode in the hopes he was still listening to
it, or they listened to half of it.
I also partially wanted to do this Beerfest episode and then just never talk about the movie in the hopes that he was still listening. And we just kind of just meander and eventually sign off. And the guy's just wondering where the fuck's to talk about the movie.
If we had done this episode shit-faced like you had talked about in text message, that's exactly what would have happened. We would have never once mentioned the movie. It would have just been 2 hours of us yelling into the microphone, and the last 10 minutes of it is just us snoring.
I probably would have opened up the podcast calling it the name of the previous podcast.
Oh, man. The ever enigmatic.
Oh, just real quick before we move on.
Sure.
I understand that it can be kind of frustrating to click on a thing that you're not familiar with and it not be like what the title is, but I feel like we don't sway people into thinking otherwise because we specifically talk about how we have sections of the show pretty much every time.
It's been the same format every time too.
So I understand that you want to get to the thing, but also just fucking skip ahead.
Yep.
It's okay. I won't be offended if you like the discussion of the movie and don't like the Q&A section. It's fine. Just click ahead. It's fine. I will not be offended.
Also, he did us the biggest favor he could by commenting.
Yeah, thanks for that, dude.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep. The ever enigmatic executive intern Bobby said on episode 110, American Werewolf in London, good podcast, go listen. To which I replied, cringe.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep. He also said on the Color Out of Space episode, what Lovecraftian situation do you think you could survive?
I love this question.
It's a good question.
It's a very good question. I have mine ready if you want a second to think about it again.
I've got my answer ready too.
All right. So mine that I can actually survive is the Shadow over Innsmouth. And
you're afraid
the
of
way
heights?
the way that I survive it. What do you say, sorry?
Because you're afraid of heights?
No, the way I
Shadow over
survive that
Innsmouth.
situation.
Sorry, I was thinking Mountains of Madness. Yeah.
You're good.
I was thinking
the way
mountains
I survive,
and airplanes, and I was like, that's not going to happen.
The way I survive that is if I get within a half mile of that village and I smell that fish smell, I'm out.
Yep.
So I never even get near the village and the story's over. Yeah.
It's why you would never come over to my place. It happens to be a fishery.
You've got like a well with the giant whale people with the the fucking anchors in Bloodborne. You remember those bastards that are like
God
impossible to fucking
damn.
kill?
In the fishing village, the fishing hamlet or whatever.
Yeah, the Innsmouth village. Those things are like harder than the final boss.
It's
so
it's for the sword too, right? Maria's sword.
Yeah, because she threw it down the well. Yeah.
down. So my answer is none, because that makes me the protagonist and they always fucking die. Because either something's killing me or I'm shooting myself after I finish writing down all the events that have happened.
So if you specifically want what would happen to me and Ron in a Lovecraftian situation, is if you consider the movie Prometheus as a Lovecraftian movie, the two idiotic fucking scientists who get themselves killed in the most unnecessary and most like stupid ways you can possibly imagine is me and Ron. To a fucking T. And we every time you and I watch that, I think we watched it together a few years ago. We watched it together and we could not stop laughing.
I think it was the first time we hung out, wasn't it? Outside of work?
I think it might have been. I was talking about when we watched it on like Blu-ray though.
Oh, okay.
We watched it. We'd already both seen the movie before because we did see it together at the theater. I think you might be right. But we watched it on Blu-ray while I was hanging out at your house a few years ago. And when that scene happened, you and I were just fucking busting out laughing the whole time. I love that scene so much. I know it's fucking stupid. I wouldn't change a goddamn frame of that scene.
That also started my tradition of trying to find the Ron and Geoff in the movie.
Usually it's so easy to pick out too.
It's usually extremely easy. One of my favorite found the Ron and Geoff in the movie moments is in, I think it's Star Wars Episode 7, when Kylo Ren's going ballistic, just like shredding the room he's in. And then it hard cuts to a hallway with shit flying out of the door of the room he's in. And two stormtroopers come around the corner, stop, turn around, and go back around the corner.
Yeah, that's us.
It's so good.
I love it so much.
Oh man,
we need to cover more Alien movies.
We really do. I stopped because I'm afraid to go on. Because I've always heard that there's only one good Predator movie, only two good Alien movies, and only one good Jurassic Park movie. I've never seen a bad Alien movie. I've never seen a bad Predator movie. And I have seen 3 very good Jurassic Park movies and 1 semi-okay one. So I'm afraid to continue those movies on this podcast. Our final comment. I just realized how old these all are. These are all almost 2 weeks old. So we haven't had anything recently.
Did we? So just real quick, did we record the last episode like super early in advance? Because it feels like it's been 2 months since we last recorded.
I feel like maybe.
I feel like we did record it in advance.
I feel like
I
think we even commented on we're finally doing it the correct way, and then I've just been unable to podcast. So I've been pushing it off. We're now doing this the night before it goes live, which means I'm going to bed when it goes live at 5 a.m. probably.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say this. I'm gonna go with Lip-Fi17 on Kung Fu Hustle. Just simply wrote WTF ? Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Do we have another individual that is really questioning why this 2-hour link that is clearly a podcast wasn't just the torrented version of the movie on YouTube? Because that's probably what that is a response to, right?
I'm absolutely sure. Almost every single comment on Kung Fu Hustle has been, why is this not the movie? Because it's illegal, you dumb shit.
You know what? That's like my favorite question to get is like, why isn't this the movie? It's because it's not 2007 when it's when YouTube back then was pretty much the fucking Pirate Bay with streaming. And guess what, fucker? It hasn't been like that in 15 years.
It still is that way if you know where to look, but the titles are all codenamed. The thumbnails are not what they say they are.
You don't need to use YouTube. You don't use any of the actual websites that are designed for it.
You have to design it in a way to trick the algorithm from scanning the video frame by frame and figuring out what it is. You can just fucking torrent the thing. Why are you using YouTube?
Yeah, it's so funny. Those are my favorite comments because every time it makes me laugh.
One of my favorite things.
Thanks for boosting our algorithm. Appreciate it.
Right. Thanks for boosting that video further. That is still our most successful video, I think. It's at almost 50,000 hits.
Jesus Christ.
7 comments.
So many satisfied customers.
So many satisfied customers. One of my favorite thing that's happened recently is you know that I don't know if it is now or not, but the biggest thing about that what was that Godzilla movie? I can't think of the name of it right now. The one from Japan.
Newer one? You talking about like one of the newer ones?
Yeah, it was out last year, maybe.
Minus.
Yeah, minus one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's out on streaming now, but it was in theaters in America. And then when it left theaters, it just disappeared. It never came out for rent or to any of the streaming services in America, only in Japan. And it was like the most pirated movie of that year. And everyone that it seems like that has an internet connection in Japan was going on all of like Reddit and all those websites, like shaming people, like, shame on you. You should be buying this movie instead. You're stealing from the creators. And everyone is like, we want to buy this movie. We cannot buy this movie.
Yeah, what is up with that? How do you not have a plan in place to be able to make money off of it after theaters?
I don't know.
You're just giving away money for free because you could have just made it fucking streamable through,
everyone's just like, shame on you, do
Amazon
the right thing. And it's like, I'm fucking trying, but you won't let me.
Yeah.
So
that's like when like Nintendo or other gaming sites like pretty much make a game no longer accessible and no longer able to be purchased. Like, fuck you. Like, people are gonna torrent it, and they should, because you've denied the ability for them to give you money.
Who was it? Was it EA? Someone did that. Someone took someone to court for downloading and emulating a game, and the judge looked at them and was like, let me get this straight. You can't buy it anywhere. You can't rent it anywhere. You can't legally download it anywhere. So where's your damages? Like, there's been no monetary damage to you because whether this person downloaded it or not, you weren't going to make any money off of this product.
It's like specifically in
he
the
threw
nomenclature,
the case out, if I recall.
Well, it's because it's like he's right, because it's to the letter of the law, because the specific crime of infringement and stuff like that is denying them the right to sell you the product.
Right.
You're not doing that because you don't have access to purchase the product because of them.
That's why Nintendo came out with that music app that you can download on your phone. So you can listen to, because they don't like you posting any of their music anywhere. They always take it down. And there was a guy that ran an illegal website where you can just download Nintendo music, and they shut him down, and he fought it, and I'm sure he lost. I never heard how it went. But the big question was like, what did he do wrong? Because there's nowhere to go to just listen to it. It's not on Spotify. You made sure of that. It's not on Apple Music. You made sure of that. You made damn sure it's not on YouTube. So where was the damages? And then, I don't know, a couple months ago, they came out with a music app that you can download to your phone. And if you have the Nintendo Switch Online, you can just log in and listen to any Nintendo video game music you want on their own Nintendo service. Mm-hmm. So we got that, but this is the one time I did not renew my Nintendo Switch Online. So that's sucks for me. But yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. Companies fucking do that.
I hate copyright stuff. I understand why it's necessary, but you don't get to bitch and moan when your shit's not available.
Yeah, agreed. It's some bullshit.
It's some bullshit. Go bullshit. It's our next shirt. It's some bullshit. Go fuck off.
Yeah. Cringe.
Dude, I want that on a fucking hat. Not even just because it's the word cringe or because we've made it a meme on the show. It was literally the word cringe, period. The period is doing so much work in that one word sentence.
See, we have two hat options. The first one is cringe period, and then the second one is karma dot dot, and then those are the two hats. Then you'll wear the cringe one, and I'll wear the karma one, and then we'll be the poster boys for the ad for it, and then no one will ever buy it.
Oh my god!
Actually, Bobby would probably buy each.
I feel like Bobby would buy a pillow. If we did a pillow, I feel like Bobby would buy a pillow. Oh man!
Do we have any other questions or anything?
No, that is it.
Okay. That fucking one guy is like, thank God they're done talking about nothing.
Now to continue talking about nothing.
So we're gonna be talking about Beerfest. So spoilers for Beerfest. I'm sure you can definitely not figure out where this film's going.
Oh my god.
So real quickly, what led you? I don't think we got a chance to talk about it at the ending of the last episode when you picked this because our Color Out of Space episode was already so long. So what specifically led you to want to select Beerfest for the show?
Actually, I think I said I just needed something funny.
Just needed something funny?
I just needed some comedy.
Well, what specifically, like, why Beerfest? Because, like, you've seen 1,000, different comedies. Like, what led you back to this one?
I love my themes. So the problem is with Oktoberfest, we spend October doing Spooky Month. So I always, for the last couple of Novembers, I've wanted to bring this movie forward, but we usually you have like a really good movie for us to cover, and because I like themes, I've been shunting this one back and continuing a theme. So this time I was just like, nope, fuck it, I'm going against type, and we're just fucking doing Beerfest because I love this movie. I love this movie so much.
It's awesome. By the way, just real quickly, I know you like to do the themes, but if you ever just want to fucking pick something and it's counter to the theme, I don't give a shit.
Oh, I know.
Like, to me, there is no theme outside of like we pick scary shit for
I
October.
Like themes, Geoff.
Outside of that, you can pick whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
But I like themes.
Because you know what? Whatever we pick, we're gonna bullshit about nonsense for 45 minutes and piss that one guy off, and then my work here is done.
Oh, right now we are 19 minutes shy of the mark. We got to get to 51 minutes if we want to make him good and mad.
it's just 20 minutes of just dead air, and then at 51 minutes it cuts to the movie review.
Dude, you know what we should do? We should announce that we're gonna cover A Quiet Place, and it's just 2 hours of silence.
That is the most ingenious idea you've ever had. And I need you to cut that from this episode because we're going to make that happen.
The entire episode, beginning to end. It's just silent.
No, you hear the intro music and then it's just dead air. And then 2.5 hours pass and then the outro music happens and that's it.
And then like sometimes I put in a little drop from before or after the show where we're bullshitting. And it's the outro music, and then you talk about how you need to go pee again, and then it's over. Oh god,
that's the ultimate theme.
Oh, but yeah, no. So I've seen this movie probably 2 or 3 times before now because it's one of those comedies that I love it, but it's not like Airplane where I can just watch it over and over and over. Like if I were to go watch it again right now, I'm probably not gonna laugh nearly as hard as I did watching it for the show just now, but just because it's not that geniusly written. But this movie has 3 kinds of jokes in it. It's got the jokes that don't land at all, and when they fail hard. Then it has the jokes that you're laughing at because it's so stupid. It's not even funny. It's just so stupid. And then it has the ones that when they land, they fucking land.
This movie's superpower is the stupid jokes to me because they have so many jokes that are so dumb they go all the way back around to becoming genius to me. Because some of the jokes are so fucking stupid they shouldn't have been in the movie, and the fact that they put them in the movie makes it like ballsy. Like it's admirable that they put some of these stupid fucking jokes in, and it's like you almost like get won over by like the snowball effect of the stupidness of it. Because by the 3rd act, every single thing works, even the stupidest ones. Like everything just gels together because you get acclimated to you watch it and your IQ lowers in real time for the first like 2 acts of the movie.
To come down to meet the movie.
Yeah, to come down to meet the movie, and you're just fucking with it.
So,
it's awesome.
There's also a thing in comedy also. Stand-up comedians talk about this. The reason they have an opener that they travel with is the more you laugh, the more you will laugh. Once all the chemicals in your brain get released via laughter, it keeps coming, and it gets easier and easier to make you laugh. So this movie, I feel like, is very good at perpetuating that.
It really is.
I feel like it's really good at taking advantage of that. So stand-up comedians will bring an opener out, they'll get you going, and then the headliner comes out.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I feel like this movie basically does that.
So you've watched this a couple times. I think I had seen this once before, and it was so long ago. I had fucking forgotten this was from the Super Troopers guys.
Oh, was it? I didn't know that.
I'd completely fucking forgotten. Yeah, this is Jade. What? How do you pronounce his last name? I looked it up earlier. Jade Chandra Sekar. Yeah, this is the director and like crew from Super Troopers, and
see, I fucking hate Super Troopers.
Oh, you do?
I hate Super Troopers so much.
I'm curious, like what led you to hate it? Because to me, they're very similar, and like it's a stupid comedy.
It's just so stupid.
I like Beerfest better, but maybe it's because like I like the guys themselves. It has most of the same actors, like the landfill guy, and I think literally maybe all of them might be in Super Troopers.
Really?
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It never landed for me. I just always thought it was really stupid.
Interesting. I haven't seen Super Troopers in like 20 years, even longer than the last time I'd seen Beerfest. So I'm curious though to go back and watch it, because I'm scrolling back through here just to see if it like literally was all the same dudes. It looks like it is it's like pretty much all the main guys. I think the only person I'm not seeing is Fink, but he might also be in it. What the fuck? I totally forgot Brian Cox and Jim Gaffigan were in Super Troopers. What the fuck?
Yeah, some of the people that show up in this movie are shocking. I totally forgot Donald Sutherland was in this movie.
Oh, what I was gonna say though is this made me want to go back and watch. They did a slasher horror movie in this, like their style of comedy, called Club Dread. Did you ever watch that?
No, I've never heard of it.
I want to go back and watch it though, because I feel like a slasher movie with their comedy, if it is half as funny as Beerfest, will be like right up my alley, like with all the horror movie stuff that I've seen. So I want to go back and watch that because it's from the same dudes.
Yeah, but no, this movie landed really hard for me. I don't know why. Probably because I was paid to watch it the first time. Because it came out in 2006. I was working at the theater. I was in projection by then, and I screened this movie, and then I think I bought it on DVD and watched it once or twice, and then I watched it today on DVD, that same DVD. So I got paid to watch it and then bought it once. Never bought it again.
When I was watching it this time, I was trying to remember back, and I was questioning whether I had ever actually seen it in its entirety or if I had just seen like bits and pieces, because it had been so long.
There's really not much difference. So it doesn't really flow scene to scene or anything.
But what made it like piece together in my mind, and I remembered watching it as a cohesive movie back in the day, was for whatever reason the Z-Job conversation scene. Once I saw that scene, it was like a core memory unlocked. It's like, oh yeah, I remember watching this now.
If you had to ask, you can't afford it. Oh my
shit.
God, that movie.
Scene when they go to recruit him is so fucking funny.
Who is your favorite character in this?
Oh man, I think it's got to be Barry. I love Barry.
Yeah, dude, Barry's fucking incredible. I think Barry is 1A and Fink is 1B. I think for
me. The Eye of the Jew.
The Eye of the Jew.
Oh, by the way, we will have shit that we talk about that is offensive by today's standards, because this movie was made in like 2006.
2006, yeah.
This was the heyday of like really offensive comedy, I would say.
Yes. But
to where they didn't give a fuck.
Some of it is so brazen, you have to appreciate it. Like the Eye of the Jew.
some of it is so brazen it reaches those levels of like Airplane.
Yes.
Where it's like, or Blazing Saddles, to where it's
Blazing Saddles is a better example, I think.
Where it hits that level of the joke is so good that it's okay.
That it gets a pass.
It gets a pass.
It's also got some fucking disturbing shit in it when we get into fucking Landfill 2.
I was just about to say, my favorite character choice in the entire movie is the Landfill 2 thing about that fucking scene when he's just like, you know what? I really, you know what? I feel like I know all you guys, you know, because I just heard so many stories. So we can skip that whole like getting to know each other period. And you know what? Actually, guys, I think I just like it better if you could you just call me Landfill?
It's so easy from a writing standpoint. It's so easy.
That scene is fucking incredible.
We get to kill a guy and have our cake.
Because I was watching the movie again, Rod, and they fucking killed Landfill, and I was like, what the fuck? I totally remember Landfill being in this entire movie, and it's because he is. Man, Landfill 2, you're twice the man Landfill 1 was.
Dude, when it cut to them having sex while staring at the picture of Landfill 1, and she says that.
Was that during the like end credits?
Yes, that was during the end credits.
This movie's end credits are incredible, and you also need to talk about the DVD menu, because the DVD menu is like this.
God.
The DVD menu is the smartest joke
in the whole
that's
thing.
in this entire movie. Is that DVD menu idea? Like, talk about that real quick, so before we forget about it.
So the DVD menu, when you first pop it in, it's, if you've ever seen any sports press conference, you know the layout. It's the big table with all the microphones set up, all the press in front. When you first pop it in, that fades in, and then as the menu fades in, they come walking out in the red, white, and blue uniforms they wore, and they sit down. And then from there, from that point forward, it loops this video of just them taking questions from the press. And it's, oh God, it's all done in character. And I don't know if they filmed this when they filmed the movie, or if they brought them back and they somehow got back into character for it, but it's so well done. It's seamless. It seems like part of the movie.
I feel like they probably did it after the fact, but I bet it wasn't like super far after like their original like recording time frame for the movie.
My favorite bit in that whole thing, Geoff, was the 10-pound quarter. When he picks it up and he's like, this thing weighs like 10 pounds, and he's talking about training with it. And then he's like, but no, seriously, it's like 10 pounds. And he just drops it and it thuds and shakes the table. I laughed out loud. But it's really good. A bunch of like really good one-off jokes and everything. You said it's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, there's apparently a cottage industry of people that have like recorded DVD menus, which I appreciate, because some of that shit is just like lost to time now.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck takes the time to pull out the DVD of Beerfest, you know?
What's interesting is like if you buy something through like Apple TV, it will have a menu, and it will still have like a DVD style menu at the beginning.
Yeah.
But they're not doing anything like this. This was incredible. This was content in the menu.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm usually the type of person, like, a lot of people are fucking nerds for special features.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people are fucking crazy for special features.
Something.
I hate most special features. I think most special features are bullshit. And I think part of the reason I have like a fucking PTSD around this is my parents would like watch every single special feature, and you know, because like you're a little kid or like a teen and you're just like hanging out, you're just kind of stuck. It's why I've seen so many fucking like CBS comedy shows, you know, like, cause like, you would just watch what your fucking parents would watch, because back then you just, you know, watch whatever was on.
Yeah,
you know, we didn't have like endless selection to watch whatever you want whenever you want. So like I would just be stuck watching these stupid fucking special features, and on most DVDs and stuff back in the day, like it was just garbage. Like you'd find some like cool like alternate endings every now and then, but most of the time it fucking sucked.
Yeah, I'm usually into deleted scenes and alternate endings, but I haven't checked any of that out in a long time.
I don't even like. I like alternate endings if they actually provide like a like legitimately different ending to like the story, but I think most deleted scenes are bullshit because most of the time they just include like 7 seconds of somebody doing something, and it's like they cut it for a reason because it's fucking pointless. It's like I don't need to watch this character like walk out of the room. I just assume they fucking walked out of the room they were in, you know?
Yeah.
There's like a lot of stupid shit like that where it's like they would just like deleted scenes and special features became such like a fucking meme that like they felt they had to really like go to the bottom of the barrel to put whatever they fucking have possible in the special features, and I hate most of it. But that Beerfest DVD thing that you told me about with the press conference that I watched, like, is genius.
It's so good. I thought it was Ridley Scott that said this, but I'm not finding the quote. I found one that's actually counter to this. I could have swore it was him, but he said when it comes to director's quotes, director's cuts, that the theatrical version is the director's cut. It doesn't matter what the movie is or what the studio labels it. I could have swore that was Ridley Scott, but I can't find it accredited to him now.
It'd be interesting if it was, because like him with Blade Runner is one of the most like famous.
I want to say that's what it was over.
Yeah, because his like that might have been him, because his like end all be all cut of Blade Runner was called like the final cut and not the director's cut. So like, he specifically like did not name it the director's cut.
Because I want to say there was an interview or something where he was talking about how those come from the studios, not the directors. And they call it that, but the actual director's cut was the theatrical version that you paid and saw.
So pretty much they like marketed it as like a misnomer to make it more appealing.
Yeah.
Like, this is the director's actual vision.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which I could totally see Hollywood doing, and he's probably right, because I do appreciate
this is the Snyder
like,
cut.
I do appreciate how like Ridley Scott will just like tell it how it is, because he doesn't fucking care, because he's Ridley fucking Scott.
And they
like,
still give him money, and he still does whatever he wants.
I love that man so much.
I want to say it was him, but I can't say that now because I can't find it. I was trying to Google it, and I actually found one that was counter to that. So I found one instead that was him saying it's a chance for directors to correct mistakes that they made and stuff. So I was like, well, that is exactly the opposite of what I was about to say. You said.
Well, we'll cut this bit out, and it'll be the deleted scenes for the podcast,
and then we'll release the director's cut where
it's the final
back
cut
in it.
It's the the official end all be all final cut.
Oh man. So I, Geoff, sir, feel like Jan and Todd Wolfhouse is the Ron and Geoff of the movie.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm pretty sure I'm Jan, but I didn't know what your feelings were about Todd.
I think we're interchangeable, to be honest, because they are so the Ron and Geoff of the movie. The scene when they're getting dragged through that, like that when they end up in a fucking like Ari Aster movie for a second, and they're in a horror movie. That is the most Ron and Geoff out of water, like,
oh god,
sequence.
Them trying to be cool over at Oktoberfest under the tent when everything just turns into a Looney Tune. Oh god,
dude, what's up with that? What's up with that murder clown guy? There's in the fucking evil underground in Germany, wherever the fuck Beerfest is at. Like, that place is terrifying.
They dragged the guy off and shot him.
I like how they do that like 3 or 4 times, and then you hear the gunshot, and everyone gets quiet, like, "Whoa, that's fucked up," and then the movie just resumes.
I think the first couple of times they do it, I feel like the last time they do it, like no one pays any attention to it. It's so good.
It's so good.
God, where do we want to start?
Where the fuck do you start? I don't know.
Do you just want to start with the cast real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. So, as we mentioned, this is from Jay Chandrasekhar.
Bless you.
Yeah. I will probably mispronounce his name like every time I say it.
We're about to get another chance.
I like him. I like him a lot. If you weren't aware, he is Barry, so he's in all the movies.
Okay.
He
stars
that. In the movies. He stars in the movie as well as he's the director, and like pretty much all of them are the writers, I'm pretty sure, because if you remember like the way the movie opens up, they say like, or maybe it's in the closing credits, but they say like written by.
He directed the Dukes of Hazzard in 2005.
I thought it was really funny how the Apple listing for this movie says from the director of Dukes of Hazzard. It's like, why are you leading with that instead of Super Troopers? Like Super Troopers has a much like better fucking recognition.
Maybe it's
for
older
its
people that
name.
have their service, so they're going
I
with
don't know.
something older. I don't know.
But I believe their like production company is called Broken Lizard for their movies, and I think it says like written by Broken Lizard in the actual movie. So it's like Landfill, Barry, and Fink. They write the movies.
Okay.
So that's their kind of like kind of yeah. Oh, it's actually the other two guys as well. So if you pull up there, if you
So
look at IMDb,
the main guys.
it's just the main guys. Yeah, they are all credited as Broken Lizard. They're like the writing team and also all the actors. So they just kind of like vibe. And here's a question: what percentage of this movie do you think is just ad libbed?
Oh God.
Because like it feels like at least half the movie is just ad libbed, and that's why the movie like kind of like proceeds from scene to scene a little bit randomly at times because they're just kind of making shit up on the fly. I was kind of curious what your take was.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but I could see it. It makes sense.
Especially when they're the writers.
Oh my
like
God.
when they're the writers and the actors, and they're just kind of like the bloopers makes this production seem like the most fun anyone's ever had doing anything in their entire life. It seems so like they were having a fucking blast making this shit.
Can I just derail us real quick because I just noticed something?
Sure,
I'm
go ahead.
pretty sure the kid that gets beamed with the fucking barrel at the beginning, his name is Helmut.
Yeah, I remember seeing that too. It's too good.
Oh God.
Yeah, so they made Super Troopers, they made Club Dread, they made this. I think the Dukes of Hazzard wasn't like the entire gang. I think it was just Jay who like directed it. I could be mistaken, but I think he just directed it.
He's the only one credited, at least, for directing.
Yeah, that's kind of like their main. I think they've grouped up together to do another Super Troopers a few years ago, but I don't know if they're still making movies as consistently as they once did, because I think like we talked about earlier about how like this was like the most like offensive comedy era ever. Like their style is cranking that up to 11 at times and just being like the fucking Eye of the Jew like we talked about just out of fucking nowhere. So I think they kind of like fell out of favor a little bit with that, which is the way the kind of like comedy changed over the years. So I don't know, they might have also just like said fuck it, just didn't feel like making movies as much anymore. But
right.
I'm so curious to go back and watch the second Super Troopers just to see how it was. And at this point, watch the fucking first one again because I just don't remember it at all.
Yeah, I see the poster for that Club Dread movie, and then I actually recognize the poster for the Slam and Salmon.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I recognize that. I think. Did they do Grandma's Boy?
Did they? I don't know.
Yeah, let me look. No, I don't think so. It's kind of in this vein, though.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I feel like there was an entire like industry of this specific flavor of comedy for about 5 years. It was like, what was the what was
this type of comedy and stuff is what I feel like you just find, and I don't mean this as demeaning or degrading as it sounds, but I feel like this is the type of thing that you just find like made by fans on YouTube, right? This style of comedy, like what are the guys that do the PUBG videos and stuff,
right?
PUBG memes and stuff. I feel like that's where this kind of comedy went, because you don't really see a whole lot of this like high quality fan film, because it's filmed and shot really well and everything, and it's on locations and everything. It's expensive, but it's basically also just a bunch of guys with a camera at the same time.
Yeah.
So I feel like this kind of disappeared into like the current YouTube scene.
Pretty much.
Listen, I don't mean that as dismissive as it sounds, but
oh no, it makes sense.
Because it's just easier, right?
Like, but you can think of like 1,000 different comedies from like in between 2004 and 2010. There were like 5 of these a year. They're just constantly these types of comedies, and then they just like all of a sudden fell out of favor, and you never saw a single one ever again. It's really interesting. How like we've talked about that before with like Airplane and stuff, about how you'll have a specific flavor of comedy run for like 5 to 10 years, and then you'll never see that shit ever again. it's just really interesting, like how this stuff like it becomes like its era of comedy, and then it's just fucking dead, and then it's just never to be seen or heard from again.
I am gonna threaten you right now. I am eventually gonna have the second Airplane movie on here because I actually am the guy that likes that movie.
I don't know if I've ever seen Airplane 2.
Oh, dude, it's
I don't know.
Airplane 1 is far superior, but Airplane 2 is still worth watching, I think.
Yeah, well, I'll check it out. Let's run through the cast. As we had mentioned, how Chandra Sekar, I think is it's pronounced.
Good job.
I'll fuck it up every time. I'm just gonna start calling him Jay. So he's just Jay from now on.
JC.
But you have Kevin Heffernan as Landfill. We have Steve Lemmy as Fink, Paul Soder as Jan, and Eric Stolhansk as Todd Wolfhouse. I like how his actual name of Eric Stolhansk sounds more German than their Todd Wolfhouse name. We have a reprisal from a former Screenplay Rewind with Jurgen Prochnow.
Yeah,
you remember him? Yeah, he was in Mouth of Madness, right? Wasn't he Sutter Kane?
I believe so. Yeah, I fucking love him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Everything he's in. He can be in fucking Judge Dredd, and then Beerfest, and then go back to fucking, Mouth of Madness or whatever.
And I think they specifically got him just because, well, first of all, he's awesome and he's Jurgen fucking Prochnow, but he was also in Das Boot. So I think they specifically had that in mind. Das Boot. I fucking love that so much. I feel like he was in something else that we've had on the show. I'm scrolling back through his IMDb. You go ahead and vamp through some more of the cast while I'm looking at his IMDb, because I swear to God we've had him on something else.
Yeah, we've had him. I'm just kind of going. These are in order, so I'm trying to scroll down through here. JC was Barry.
The Replacement Killers. The Replacement Killers.
Replacement Killers. That's right.
Yeah.
As you said, Steve Lim was Fink. We already ran through that. Pab Schwindeman, the door bouncer. I feel like I've seen him before. Password!
They have a bunch of.
That was last year's password. I've got an idea.
So good.
Oh, the old Trojan keg. Yeah, I don't see any other heavy hitters. All of the German Van Wolfhausens were incredible.
I love the Germans so much. Also, what's really funny is, which one is it? Rolf. That guy. Have you heard of the show Loot on Apple with Maya Rudolph?
No.
It's a wonderful show. I got to get you to watch it. He is one of the leads in the show with Maya Rudolph, and watching him actually, like, after that, just like be a legitimate actor. And it's like, yeah, it's a comedy, but then you watch him being Rolf with these fucking idiots. It's so funny.
You realize that Otto is Will Forte, right?
Yeah, like they're some of my favorite moments of the movie. Is just how, like, everyone in Beerfest is chewing the scenery
and loving it,
but you get to them and they crank it up to 18. Like, they are fucking going for it, and I love them.
I just found out that Will Forte in that Scoob movie was Shaggy. I could see that.
I can see that too.
Yeah, dude. When I saw Will Forte, I was like, excuse me? I had to look it up to make sure I was right.
It's so
because
funny.
It doesn't seem like the kind of movie he'd make for some reason, but there he was. And he was
but
fucking
at the same time,
great.
I think we're like looking back on it, like it's not something he would do now, but back in this time, this was like he was on SNL at this time, right? Like I think he was still on SNL around that time.
Oh my god. Gunter is Lloyd in Dumb and Dumberer.
Yeah, Eric Christian Olsen. Whatever fucking happened to that dude? Has he done anything since then?
He was in Cellular and was never seen from or heard from again.
Holy fuck, this is where he went. He's in NCIS Los Angeles and has starred in Ron. 301 episodes.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. Yeah, that's where he went, and that's where he will stay because he's making all the money over there.
Yeah, dude, he's set for life just on fucking NCIS LA royalties. Like he's fucking chilling.
But yeah, I just had
Jesus
to point
Christ.
out. Then fucking Monique. When was the last time you thought about Monique?
I forgot Monique existed, dude.
Dude, Monique in this movie is kind of incredible.
Dude, she actually is. That fucking scene with Barry, dude.
I
they're
knew
cutting
the whole
back
time.
when they're cutting back and forth, and I love Jay's like personal rendition of himself is basically the main guy in Airplane in the disco scene.
Striker.
And they cut, yeah, and they cut to him in the actual reality of the moment, and he's like, what's the fucking quote that we wanted to have on here?
I'm trying to look at the thing you sent me. We text too much.
I will give her a little slap of pickle. What is he? He's got like is it a cereal box that he's wearing on his head with asshole written on it in Sharpie?
The line is slap and tickle. I'm looking for a little slap and pickle.
Ron, I think I got my next Halloween costume picked out. I'm gonna go with the because that is a wonderful obscure Halloween costume is the asshole cereal box from fucking Beerfest.
Oh my god.
Look at him slap pickle.
It's the way he says it too. But
the way he's acting like every time he's speaking, it hurts to speak.
Yes.
It's so good.
When he looks into the camera and is like, "Come on, I knew the whole time." That's the most Bobby line I have ever heard in my life.
110% Bobby.
Oh man. Everything with Barry is incredible.
It's so dude,
when he pulls up his shirt and he has the coin belt and he just flips out a bunch of quarters and just starts shooting them all over the place.
Yeah, he's got that shit ready to go.
Just ka-chunk, 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 ting, 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 ting.
And they go to recruit him and he can't do any of the games because he's sober.
I'm better drunk.
When he's drunk, he's a god.
He does one of my favorite tropes. This might be the first time I ever saw it in live action. When he breaks the rack at pool and all the balls go in the hole.
Yeah.
That's fucking incredible. And I don't think I'd ever seen that in live action before this movie.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a really cool effect. But yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, this movie, you can tell when they made it, they thought people would like Barry, but everyone would love Landfill. Barry is the fucking hero of this movie.
Yeah, Barry's the GOAT. I love Barry so much.
Like, Landfill is the one that sometimes I'm just kind of like, okay, right, like, let's move along. But every once in a while, Landfill, God damn it, the brewery! And he throws the trophy just out of nowhere.
That's the thing is like, and it's like Barry is better by himself.
Yes.
But when you have them all together, like what Landfill like does, like playing off the other guys, like his like constant shtick he has with Fink is really
I like to
funny.
sit in the middle. You can sit on this side.
Also, I'll have to lean on you for some of the quotes and stuff and specific scenes because I watched this like 4 or 5 days ago now, so like I remember most of it, but I can't like just pull some of the quotes.
Well, I'm still traumatized by the Landfill 2. You're twice the man Landfill 1 was.
Dude, that joke is so genius. Just the wordplay of it, and I'll set the floor for you to say our favorite joke because the wordplay of our favorite joke is one of my favorite jokes in a movie of all time.
But it also has quotes like, I once saw him fart a plum. I was plumb surprised.
Yeah, there's stuff like that where it's like writer's humor, but it's not like pretentious. It's just really funny wordplay.
I just got to Gunter when the cuckoo clock goes off. The fuck is that? The way that they play with the stereotypical like German accent, like the cartoonish German accent, is incredible in this.
It's really good, especially with the with Will Forte and the guy I like from Lou. They're so good.
Oh god.
I'll let you say our favorite joke though with the fucking is it Thailand? Is that what he's talking about?
It's when Barry's talking about the ping pong paddle up his ass and is all traumatized and why he can't play beer pong anymore. and just with the most serious expression and the most dour tone of voice, somehow manages after like 85 takes.
Oh man, that's half the bloopers is him trying to do that line.
He just goes, "I was in Thailand playing ping pong and ding dang."
His delivery is just like it's a normal part of a regular sentence, and his delivery is just so fucking good.
I couldn't get through it. Thailand playing ping pong and ding dang.
I was in Thailand playing ping pong and ding dang.
It's so stupid.
It's so fucking stupid. No one should have ever written it. And between his delivery and the fucking wordplay of it, it's so good. Like I really want to. Like if I could ask anybody on this movie one question, it's like, dude, how many times did you have to record that before you got the right take?
There's one
because I could never have gotten that take.
The one that got me, he got through it almost identically to the way it's used in the movie. And just before the guy calls cut, you see him just burst out laughing and you hear everybody else burst out laughing. He just almost got through it. It was so painful.
Dude, they sound like they are having so much fun making this movie that it makes me jealous I wasn't like a part of this movie, because it just like I wonder if this is like the one they look back on that they made together that they love the most because they had the most fun making it. Because like that shit comes through like on screen too. It's like their interactions together, it's like obviously like they're buds, but it seems like they're actually having fun making the movie. It's like the opposite of those like fucking cringy Adam Sandler movies he's making now on Netflix, you know?
Right.
Where it's like technically they're having fun in quotation marks because they're friends, but they're not actually like, they're just there to make money. They're not actually having a fun time making the thing they're making.
The closest,
like Beerfest, it seems like they're having fun.
The closest thing I can equate to that is any David Spade, Chris Farley movie. Because the two of them were best friends in real life.
And it comes through on screen.
It really
like they
comes
seem
through.
Actually like they're friends.
Oh my god. What did he say? I'm so sorry that I porked your girlfriend. You can pork my wife anytime you want.
I married that fuck doll, you son of a bitch. I think my second favorite joke is also such a stupid fucking joke, but it's just the way that they sell it and just linger on the shots. Is when somebody loses and every person in the entire Beerfest has lettuce on hand and they just get pelted with 500 pounds of lettuce and they linger on the shot for like an extra 5 seconds longer than you'd think they would. And it made me laugh every time.
People have been warming up sausage like that for hundreds of years. Oh my god.
Jesus
Can
Christ.
we talk about Donald Sutherland's cameo?
Dude, did it when you were watching this, did it blow your mind that Donald Sutherland was in Beerfest? Because it did for me. I was like, what the fuck?
I totally forgot he was in this movie.
His scene's awesome, dude.
I feel like I'm just as surprised every time when he pulls his own plug.
Dude, I love that so much. It's so good.
So one of my favorite jokes in this movie is every time there's a funeral, everyone acts like what is happening is normal, right? Like when Donald Sutherland's just sitting there downing beers while in a hospital bed with his lederhosen over the hospital gown, just sitting there talking and belching. Everyone's just like crying and acting like it's normal. And then later when we do it with Landfill 1.
Fucking Landfill 1.
Oh my god. What is it he says? Like good night or goodbye or something, and then he just yanks his own plug.
His face, he instantly does the like. Oh god.
I can't continue this podcast.
It's too good. It's too fucking good.
Oh my god.
Dude, the fucking bar being called the Shits and Giggle. That is such a good fucking joke. And it's just vibing in the background. They don't ever turn it into like a full blown joke. It's just there.
Oh my lord.
I love that.
The Shits and Giggle is incredible. Oh yeah, see, okay, can you get out of here? I don't care. I've got the scene up. There's no closed captions, damn it. But yeah, his face when he yanks the goddamn plug. I'm watching him right now. So the doll is hiding the cord to the plug, so you can't see that he has it. And then when he yanks the plug, it comes out from behind the doll and comes out of the wall.
Yeah, I wanted to run by another scene by you because it's one of those scenes that just like shouldn't be in the fucking movie because of how stupid it is. But it was just this very specific flavor of joke that I feel like you probably also laughed at it like I did, just because like we have like similar sense of humors when it comes to movies like this. Sometimes it's like the scene when I think it's Todd. Let me verify I get some of their names fucking mixed up because they're just the Beerfest guys in my brain, you know.
Right.
Like, I believe it's Todd. I just want to. Yeah, it's when Todd tries to ride the 5-person bicycle away, and they just linger on him struggling to ride the fucking 5-person bicycle for like 12 seconds. That's the shit I'm talking about. Where it's just like you're just along for the fucking ride, and you just accept shit like that shouldn't be in the movie, but because it's absurd, they just linger on the shot. And it's so funny to me.
I feel like it's one of those things that wasn't scripted, but everybody reacted in character, so they kept it, which is some of the best scenes in any movie.
Because, like, dude, kudos to him for even being able to fucking ride that thing, period. I wouldn't be able to fucking ride that thing away. Those things are obnoxious as fuck.
Oh, my God. I'm trying to look for another one that made me laugh pretty good. For no reason. Another quote in here. I saw it earlier, so I know it's in here. I should just search one of their names and then just search down, because it would be easier. There's a million quotes in here. When it cuts to how they train, like the dude's running on the treadmill holding a keg over his head with just a hose going in his mouth. The way they killed the messenger too was awful.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh God. Okay, I guess it wasn't in here. It was when he's yelling at them, and then Will Forte like provides him a word, and then the guy repeats it. And he's like, "Yeah," and then he screams it at them. Makes me laugh. But dude, Barry, why don't we get you out of those wet clothes and into a dry martini? And she was like, "What?" And then it cuts to him with the cereal box on his head.
Dude, a fucking Barry my king. I love Barry.
Oh
so
God,
much.
Barry's incredible.
I've been shitting pancakes ever since.
It's so stupid. Back the fuck up, Antonio. My dick. Oh.
Have you seen I've been scrolling through the IMDb photos, but they have the one where it's Barry the next morning laying next to Monique, and her expression is just the like shit-eating grin, and then his is like they like gave him makeup to make him look more pale. He's just like, where the fuck am I?
When he wakes up next to the dead deer like a werewolf.
Dude,
with the blood on his mouth and he's naked.
Not again.
The throat's been torn out of the deer.
It's too good.
But no, so the sex scene with Monique, I love it's cutting back and forth as he's remembering. And when the one girl, it was whipped cream, and then when it cuts to Monique, it's mustard.
Oh God. I knew
she
the whole
say,
time.
like, I like a little mustard on my hot dog, or whatever it is she says. Or whatever. And
Jesus Christ.
The other girl's like moaning all sexily, and I forget what she says. But then it cuts to Monique. I'm gonna break your dick off.
This fucking movie, dude. Did we talk about? I love the opening like warning it gives. It's like, please, for the love of God, do not drink like you see in this movie. These guys are professionals, and you will die, and they're not lying.
Oh my God.
I love the cheesy CGI they have when like Landfill is like trying to drink the vat before he dies. It's just like this like super cheesy CGI effect that makes it like even better.
I love the fight he has with Monique when she's sitting on him and just beating him in the balls like a speed bag.
It's so good.
Oh God. So here's another example of what you're talking about, like the bicycle. When it's just like, hey, what's wrong? This means Great Gam Gam really was a whore. And then he just covers it, just la 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 la, and runs in the chair.
La, la, la,
Ow!
la,
La
la,
la la
la,
la
la.
la la.
La, 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 la.
I feel like that's something that it shouldn't have been left in the movie, but for some reason I laughed at it.
Right.
Oh god.
It's too fucking good. Yeah. At this point, I'm just scrolling back through images because it's like the movie is on rails with its stupidity. And like the further along you get into the movie, like the quicker it feels like it's going. I don't know if you feel like the same way, but like it's like when you get fully acclimated to their style of comedy, like you're so invested in it, even though it's fucking nonsense. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like it reminds me of like the way like the airplane is on rails. Like when you get to the last like 30 minutes of airplane about them trying to like land the plane,
Yes.
and it just that portion of the movie feels like it's 5 minutes long, even though it's like 30, just because it's just like it's clicking and firing on all cylinders with its level of stupidity.
Right.
I guess. That like I legitimately love the final
It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
What's the name of the little fucking
I don't the little
doll?
demon doll.
Little fucking creepy doll.
Beerfest
I
doll name.
I legit love
Bobo.
the like Bobo, is that what you said?
Yeah, Bobo.
Yeah, Bobo. I love the actual like final competition. When they're just like crushing it. It's so stupid, like in the way that they end up winning because the one drop of the DOS boot falls, and it's filmed like it's the single most dramatic thing that's ever happened in the history of mankind.
It's kind of remarkable the way that they managed to make that so dramatic, like kind of in the way Death Note is just a guy that writes a person's name down on a piece of paper, and it's like the most dramatic thing you've ever seen.
Right. Yeah, just because the way that it's edited together.
Yeah, and the music
presented.
and stuff. The British guys, I fucking love the British guys.
Yeah, the British guys are awesome.
I love when he introduces both of them and slaps the other guy for no reason. And then when they're like, yeah, and another thing, we're not that drunk, and they all just stand up, and then
they're not that
drunk, you cheeky bastards.
And then the crowd go, they're not that drunk.
They're not that drunk.
Dude, how awesome is the final beer pong match?
When Barry's carrying them.
When they
Lucia gets a paddle up the ass.
When Todd is forced to compete because everybody in the team has to compete, and he's actively like throwing their games.
Yeah.
But Barry is the fucking chosen one at beer pong, so he's like running back and forth and like hitting the ping pong around him.
Oh god.
This also
looks
is just
like we got the Brits in round one. We already kicked their asses in WW2. Cheerio, let's do it again.
It's just like, has it ever really been like talked about that much? Because I don't think, have we had a sports movie?
No.
So like,
This is
so
a
funny
moment
to
that
me.
only happens in sports.
But it's true that like your brain is hardwired to just fall in line with a sports movie,
right?
You know, like it just works, because it follows the like step, like 1, step 2, step 3 like storylines always the same fucking way, but it's like a magic trick and how it always works on you as a viewer
every time.
You're always invested. Even though, like, you know, like obviously you have some movies where like the team loses and like the whole point was like, you know, it was about them, you know, coming together as a team and as friends, and like the win or the loss didn't matter. But like the nuts and bolts of a fucking sports movie just always works on me, to where like even though Beerfest is fucking stupid, like I'm invested in them winning by the end of it.
Balls of Fury, same thing.
Yeah, like your brain just can't help but get like suckered into like the drama of it. Even in fucking Beerfest and Balls of Fury, it's like dude, like sports movies are legitimately a fucking cheat code for movies. Like they just really work by default. Like if you fuck up a sports movie, like you've done something wrong, because they should work by default.
Yeah, sports movies are kind of incredible, because it it goes one of two ways, but it's pretty much always the same. We did have one. We had Warrior, right?
Oh yeah. That pretty much follows the same kind of.
But they
But that was specifically like turning it on its head though, to where like you didn't fully have a like side to root for,
Right.
Because you wanted, that's we talked a bit about this on that.
Because one was the story about this guy trying to support his family. The other, it's a redemption story for the other brother.
Yeah,
And
it's
they're
like
coming
two
head
sports
to head.
movies. It's like two sports movies like working parallel at the same time. Like,
But yeah,
great stuff.
the sports movies go usually one of two ways, like you said, but they're pretty much always the same movie. But it always works somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, it always fucking works.
Yeah,
on
they
me.
even call it out in the movie, and they bring their heads together, like, "This is that moment that only happens in sports."
When they fuck up, like when they have to like redo the cheer, it's really funny. It's like like for what do they call their, is it Gram? Is that
Gam Gam, great Gam Gam.
They go like, it's like for the recipe and Gam and blah 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 blah. They keep having to like add to like their chant.
Yeah, it's amazing. They can't even say it together because it's just too much.
They can't keep it straight.
Oh my God.
I can't ever look at frogs the same way again after this movie. That's something we haven't talked about.
That's okay. That's my example of something so stupid I'm laughing anyway, because they're just having this serious conversation with ribbit.
It is that sound effect becoming quicker for eternity is what sells
it's like
it,
a
because
Family Guy bit.
It really is. Like, how long do they increase like how fast that sound effect is happening for at least like 45 seconds of dialogue?
It's like a full minute or more.
The whole fucking scene, it is just progressing. It's so disturbing, but it's so funny at the same time.
When he stops and the frog hand comes up and smacks his, he's like, "Oh, sorry," and he goes back. And then later, when he got fired because he bred monkey frogs, and he cuts to him putting it in the dumpster with lighter fluid.
Oh my fucking God, I love that. I forgot about that. Doesn't he say like, "I'm so sorry"?
I'm so sorry. And he picks up the lighter fluid and it cuts away. Oh shit, man. This movie, when it lands, it fucking lands.
It really does. I think I've kind of touched on everything that I wanted to touch on, because at this point we would just be like repeating every single quote, because there's so much funny shit in it.
I'm fine with that.
You're just gonna go for a couple more hours, just recite the entire script from start to finish.
Oh God. When he at the beginning of the final beer pong match, like you were talking about, when they're laughing at him and making fun of him, so he breaks the dude's glass with the ball, and then the guy picks it up and eats the glass. And the look on their face.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, I think that guy is Russell Crowe's buddy in Gladiator, which I was like, what if I fucking seen this guy in? I don't know if you have you seen Gladiator?
Oh, dude, I fucking love Gladiator, and Gladiator 2 is coming out.
Yeah, I'm actually like, when they announced Gladiator 2, I was like, why? But then everyone says it's like one of the best movies Ridley Scott's ever made. And I was like, what the fuck? So now I'm interested in watching it.
I've heard a lot of bad things. I haven't heard anything good yet, but I'm still curious because I really like the cast in that movie.
Oh, you've heard bad things? I've heard nothing but good things.
I've heard there's a lot of stupid stuff in it. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, apparently there's a scene where the emperor is just reading a newspaper.
Oh. They
didn't even have paper.
I had remembered hearing like good things, but that was like the very early buzz. So I it could have drastically changed once it went like more widely released. For sure.
Yeah, I heard it's full of a lot of ridiculous things like that. But at the same time, like I said, I like that cast, and I kind of want to see. I don't know why it has to be Gladiator. I don't know why it couldn't just be something else. I think Gladiator was so good on its own that I feel like we're cheapening it by going into a sequel. But I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, but I'm gonna watch it.
Especially if it's on like HBO or something.
Yeah.
Like we gotta watch it if it's there. So I would never remove the Nick Cage plunging Five Nights at Freddy's monster, but one that would almost be like a good replacement is the image of them all standing next to each other at the urinal when they pee for like 5 minutes straight. And that is a wonderful shot.
Going.
I'm still going.
When he fills up his shoe and then puts his shoe back on after it's done demonstrating. What?
That, you know what, like when they do scenes like the specific thing that you can tell these guys all fucking love Leslie Nielsen is how many times they have like the absurd bit of comedy happening while they're straight faced, because that is what I associate most with Leslie Nielsen.
Yes.
Like that, it's like his entire performance from Airplane to a T. Like they try to replicate that a lot, and you can tell like Leslie Nielsen is probably their hero.
I associate it with Leslie Nielsen #1 and Mel Brooks #2. Mel Brooks is more cartoony,
exactly.
I think, with his, but all of his characters are the straight man also. And then Leslie Nielsen was the fucking king. He was peak straight man in the dumbest movie ever.
So
the
good,
Naked
dude.
Gun movies, dude. So good.
Nobody could top Leslie Nielsen to doing shit like that. He's just the fucking king.
Crazy. He's walking down the street with half a cantaloupe on your head, muttering, "I'm a hamster." Like, what? What did you just say? Oh God. Oh man, I had something I was gonna bring up, but I don't remember what it was now.
I just found the fucking. I love the note they leave of "Good luck Mitzi competition, compliments of Baron von Wolfhausen." And they have they literally write out on the note "Good luck Mitzi competition." It's so fucking dumb.
I love also when he's like fucking dusting them with Donald Sutherland's ashes. And they have to go back and tell Gam Gam how the ceremony went.
I think my favorite Jürgen Prochnow thing in the movie, though, is later on when some guy in the audience like calls him a pussy for not accepting their Double or Nothing dare, and he's just like, "All right, we'll continue the competition, and afterwards kill Spectator 2." Yeah, they're like, "Kill Spectator 2," or whatever he says. It's fucking awesome. And they cut to the dude just like,
Dude, when Cherry is just like muttering, Monique, when she's just muttering as they like drag her off, then you hear the 2 gunshots.
Fuck, dude.
Oh Jesus,
man!
I'm gonna break your dick off. I knew the whole time.
I fucking love Barry, dude. My king.
Cuts to her with the mustard. I always
Jesus
sleep
Christ.
better with a little sausage in me.
I can't look at frogs the same way again, and I can't look at mustard the same way ever again. They're just dead to me.
When she talks about relaxing the muscles in your throat, and she goes to demonstrate on sausage, and like, "Oh no, that's okay, that's okay."
that whole bit where it's just like they're how they're in denial about Gam Gam being a whore.
Wow, you even talk like a whore. We've all got a little whore in us.
It's like, oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh God.
Did you have any other kind of wrap up thoughts or any other like sequences you wanted to specifically call out? I feel like we've kind of like circled around a lot of the like. There's gonna be like 2 or 3 bits we're gonna be mad that we forgot to mention, but that's just the nature of the movie because they're sending out so many fucking jokes. Like every minute has like at least 3 or 4 things that they're just like throwing shit at the wall, see what sticks, like constantly.
About this. This is one of my favorite quotes, and somebody marked it helpful on IMDb. I love the thumbs up is helpful. That's my favorite thing on IMDb. Because apparently this was really helpful to someone, Geoff. Landfill talking to the Germans. Real funny, Deutsch bag.
That's awesome.
That's fucking top tier.
Yeah, they that's like you said, like when this movie's jokes hit, they're S tier, dude. Like they're fucking crushing it.
Deutsch bag.
Deutsch bag.
That's incredible. One of the things I laughed at so hard because of the way everybody reacts, but also the way Gil says it is just, looks like you got the Brits in round one. Already kicked their asses in WW2. Cheerio, let's do it again. And he's like, what? Because they were allies.
More classic Barry is, I wish it were winter so we could freeze it into ice blocks and skate on it and melt it in the springtime and drink it. Their fucking deliveries in that scene.
I wanted to put my dick in it. I wanted to put its dick in me.
Dude. Just the way he fucking delivers some of his lines kill me, dude.
Oh god. Barry, I think, is the number one actor and character in this.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
Fucking love Barry, dude. Especially when he goes full Saturday Night Fever. It's the best scene in the movie, I think. Oh god. It should get you out of those wet clothes and get you into a dry martini. Huh? It's closed. This is what I was saying. Are you drunk? I'm drunk. We're all drunk.
Jesus Christ! Did we talk about like when they're first going to like track down Barry when he's like, back the fuck up, Antonio, my dick.
Yeah. Oh. Now it's $5 to touch it while I touch my toes. $6 to touch it while I touch yours. Oh, hey, Jan and Todd. Fink, looking good, Fink. You too, Barry.
Too fucking good, dude.
Oh, Jesus. It was the greatest beer in all the world. That is fucking Will Forte.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible to me. If he had it, why didn't he brew it? Hebrew.
I was just about to say Hebrew. That was, yeah. So there's a lot of like, it's funny how like they have intellectual wordplay comedy. At the same time, we're just gonna have a shot up at the guy trying to ride away on the giant fucking bicycle for no reason. And it is like the combination of just like the stupidity with like some like legitimately like well written stuff that just makes it all like fucking work together.
Oh my god.
It is time to shize or get off the crap.
That's what I was about to say. And then did you see in the outtakes, it took him like 4 times to do that line?
Yeah. It's time to shize or get off the crap.
And then you hear from the side, crapper. And then he like, I think he curses and then it cuts back. Oh god. The outtakes are incredible.
I'm a respected member of the scientific community. I've been published in 4 journals. Which one? Toad Load Weekly? That's one of my favorite landfill bits. Okay.
The eye of the Jew.
Fuck, dude.
Oh.
The close up of him with the eye of the Jew, also S tier for a like Twitter background.
Fucking profile picture. Oh my god, this movie.
Finks are Anchorman. Finks are Anchorman.
Turn it.
I love when he gets to the Das Boot and he is just like Super Saiyan chugging that shit at light speed.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's awesome. Fucking fake.
They're not that drunk, they said, the cheeky bastards.
They're not.
Oh, you think you
drunk.
can drink it? Well, we did just outdrink the Irish. Oh my god.
Fucking Christ, dude. All right. Any other wrap up
At
thoughts?
this point, I'm
kinda
just
sign
talking
off?
in circles, and I don't give a damn because this movie's too good.
Yeah, we're just quoting because like we at this point we've quoted at least 50% of the movie, and I'm not mad about it.
When I was watching this movie, I was just like, God, how much I'm going to be laughing and geeking out this whole episode. I really hope Geoff liked this movie.
How funny would that have been if I was just like, shit sucks. You're fucking stupid for
This is
liking
the
it.
stupidest fucking movie. This podcast's over.
I'm fucking done with this show, man.
It's not a podcast to get off the crapper.
Go find another fucking co-host, Deutschbag.
Oh my god, Deutschbag. So good. Oh, okay. So one of my favorite bits in this also. It's so stupid, but the Looney Tune moment I mentioned at the beginning and at Oktoberfest, when just for no reason, a girl gets her shirt ripped off, falls into other girls and accidentally rips off their shirts. falls over and then rips off somebody else's shirts. Like, just the like, there's so many movies that they're just very obviously putting boobs in the movie to have boobs in the movie.
Mm.
And this movie, I feel like, is doing that in a way that they're just making fun of that.
Yeah, they're making fun of that trope.
Yeah.
They're making fun of like the most lowbrow entries of the lowbrow comedy era from this time. So it's like they fucking knew what they were making.
Like, yeah, boobs, but at the same time, it was really genius and really funny, just for no reason. The most ridiculous ways for girls to get their shirts ripped off.
Yeah, that was almost like that the idea of like that joke and kind of like making fun of other entries in the genre is specifically like a Mel Brooks thing.
Yeah,
like Mel Brooks could always like pin. Yeah, exactly. Mel Brooks could always like pinpoint the trope of the like type of movie he was homaging, and he had like such a good eye for that, where he could always turn what is like the biggest cliche into like a solid joke, because he was just really fucking observant about the movies he was homaging and making a satire of everything.
Oh man, I was exhausted when this movie was over, and I'm exhausted now that we've reached the end of this podcast. Oh my god, I'm just exhausted all around, man.
Good beer, good. Go drink.
I laughed so hard beginning to end for one of three reasons. Like I said, like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Why would you put that in the movie? And that is the best thing I've ever seen. And IMDb has it listed down as parody and satire, which I kind of agree with.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's also it's at the same time it's a satire of sports films, in addition to being a satire of like this lowbrow era of comedy.
At the very least, it's a satire of this style of comedy and a parody of sports films. The way Mel Brooks will pick a genre and do like Spaceballs or Blazing Saddles.
Exactly. like Young Frankenstein, is like working simultaneously. It's like something like that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, the trailer's going, and it just got to Barry waking up next to Monique, and you mentioned her face as she's laying there asleep.
Yeah, she's just smiling.
I just saw it again. Oh, it's so good. Go watch this movie, please. It is worth your time. It's simultaneously one of the best and one of the dumbest things you'll ever see. And it's one of the dumbest things in one of the best ways.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Hard to believe that this has a 46 Metacritic score.
Yeah, everyone hates most comedies. Like, even fucking, what do we talk about, like Spaceballs having like a 50 on Rotten Tomatoes or some shit like that? Like, fuck them.
Hey, the AV Club gave it 75.
There you go.
Yeah, Hollywood Reporter gave it a 30. Tedious and at 112 minutes too long to sustain a sophomoric one joke comedy, even for the presumed target audience of older male teens and the college age crowd. Let me tell you, this movie landed for that crowd for me.
Right.
Oh man.
Who the fuck uses the word sophomoric?
Apparently Kurt Honeycutt.
I have never heard that word in my life.
Random silliness rules the day, but the gags are frequently surprising, was the AV Club.
I also don't think this was his second movie. I think he did another one, but I could be wrong.
I wanna hang on. I wanna see Rotten Tomatoes Beerfest. God damn it, Google.
What did Google do now?
It did that thing where I see the link I want, and just before I can click it, I'll mouse over to it, and then it moves down and
shifts.
Something else pops in, and that's what I end up clicking. It does that to me all the time.
That is one of the most irritating first world problems.
It does it on mobile.
Yeah, it's obnoxious. I hate that shit.
Why? Anyways, the tomato meter, it's 41, but the popcorn meter is 75, so audiences like it.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty strong. Anything above a 70 on the audience meter, that's pretty strong.
For a comedy, that might as well be like a 90.
Yeah.
It's like most like comedic things are like if at best like a fucking 50-50 because comedy is so subjective, and for whatever reason it's like people get on these Metacritic or Rotten Tomatoes aggregate things, and it's like this isn't a drama, so it's shit. 0 out of 10.
Oh.
It's like, there could be like other genres of movies, right?
We didn't even talk about MC Gainey as the priest at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I totally forgot MC Gainey was in this movie too. And I was like, dude, seeing MC Gainey and Donald Sutherland
right at the beginning, and then Jurgen Prochta. I can never say his last name.
I thought I fucking rented the wrong movie. I was fucking watching at the beginning because I was like, what the fuck are Donald Sutherland and Jurgen Prochnow and MC Gainey doing in Beerfest?
And then Willie Nelson at the end for Potfest.
Yeah, I like the Willie Nelson scene too. Like, he's actually pretty funny, and I'm curious if that was just a joke or if they actually were like, we might make that someday.
But yeah, dude, him as the priest, it looks like an underground like illicit like quarters game.
It almost feels like some of the scenes in Sin City.
Yes.
Like that's like that level of like scum of the underground.
Yeah. And then it turns out he's the priest and they're there for Donald Sutherland's funeral.
I love that transition where they're about to fucking murder him pretty much, and then they just transition to like saying hello to each other at the funeral right outside. It's genius.
When he's like, he points to all the money, he's like, I'll just collect the rest of this later, but and then he like makes like a sound and like points at the beer, and the priest is just like, oh, God damn it, and then just picks it up and starts chugging. Oh, it's so good.
It's awesome. Yeah. I'm glad you picked this because this was fun. It holds up so much better than it has any fucking right to.
Oh, Cloris Leachman is Gam Gam. She's in Young Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Who does she play in Young Frankenstein? I can't remember.
Frau Blücher.
Do not recall.
Blucher. It's been a while since I've seen Young Frankenstein. I need to pull that out.
Yeah, we need to pick that for the show at some point.
Oh my god. Dang. She died in 2021. She's in some of the Justice League cartoons that came out in 2018.
Interesting.
She had something come out in 2021. She had 2 things come out in 2021.
Hell yeah.
My god, lady.
Gam Gam rules, dude.
She's Granny Goodness in Justice League Action.
Ah.
She plays a lot of grandmas late in her life. Yeah. I've got nothing else that I can add. I'm just going to start talking in circles. Oh my god, she's in Ponyo. I didn't know that.
I had no idea.
2.5 million.
All right.
Wow. All of a sudden, I'm interested in Gam Gam. I had no idea.
Sentences that could be taken out of context
right?
for horrible
purposes. A little metal sausage in me.
Oh man.
I even talk like a whore.
This means Gam Gam really was a whore.
La 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 la. Ow! La 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 la.
That's another pinnacle moment of that's the Ron and Geoff of the movie. Oh man, if you would like to follow the show more, you can find us on Twitter at SPR. Exactly. We are on Twitter at SPR Filmcasts. Any ratings or reviews on whichever platform you happen to catch us on always helps us out. If you did find us through YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions for Ron and myself in the beloved Q&A section at the beginning of the next episode, you can drop our email with your question.
Come on, Deutschbag, spit it out.
God damn it. Never try to do the sign off while you're looking at Beerfest images, because I'm just like scrolling back through like some of the images. Not helpful. You can
by images you mean Gam Gam.
Yeah.
Stop checking out Gam Gam's Gam Gam.
If you can send us an email, screenplayrewind@gmail.com with your question or prompt. Ron is not helping with derailing the sign off.
But his name
Ron,
is
where can people find you when you're not derailing my fucking sign off?
You basically can't. I don't do Twitter or social media anymore, and I'm not streaming or making YouTubes anymore. This is basically where I am.
There you have it.
Yep. This is where you can find me.
This is where you can find me.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just running out of
probably...
time and mental health reasons for social media, and then I'm just running out of time to do anything with my channels, and I am dusting off the old resume, so I'm gonna have even less free time for long.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
This show will be fine though. It's every 2 weeks. That's not hard. Although it fucking was this time. I don't know why. But yeah.
Trying to think if if you have anybody that you'd like to share this upload out to, you think might like the show or any of our others, if you look back at our fucking catalog, we've covered a little bit of fucking everything at this point. So like pretty much any genre of movie you can think of, we've covered it. So you can probably circle back around and find something that somebody would like for sure. And I think we're ready to announce the next episode now. So this was Ron's selection of Beerfest.
I'm very... I had to point out it was me.
I did
this. I'm the Deutsch bag here.
This was Ron's doing.
I'm very curious what your... God damn it. The trailer's playing in the background. I just got to the shits and giggle again.
The shits and giggle.
I'm very curious how you
awesome to have.
This.
You know how you can get like those kind of like neon signs for your apartment?
Oh, dude.
If you had the shits and giggle neon sign, that'd be an awesome like decoration.
Over like a dry bar?
Man, it'd be so awesome. I want that to be a thing to be able to purchase now. Like fucking 10 out of 10.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I not continuing any theme or anything. This is just a movie that I've wanted to have on the show for a while, and you already know what my pick for December is going to be, whenever that, or maybe early January depending on the timing. But I'm going to pick fucking Nosferatu when that shit comes out, because I have to pick the new
I was
going to
ask you off air when that's coming out.
That is late December, and as soon as it's out, you and I will be in the theater, even if I have to like fucking I'm gonna fucking drug you and just drag you to the theater. You're gonna wake up, watch a movie like fucking Barry. Like, yeah, we're watching that shit because that shit's going on the podcast immediately, because I need to watch the Nosferatu movie by Eggers with Willem Dafoe as soon as humanly possible. I think it comes out near Christmas. I will cancel your Christmas plans for Nosferatu, so just be on the lookout for that. But before that, my next pick is gonna be Crimson Tide. So I want to introduce Ron to Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide is the submarine movie by Tony Scott.
Yeah.
With Denzel and Gene Hackman, and it's fucking awesome. And
I can be forgiven for not recognizing it. I was 10 when it came out.
Yeah, it is. It is an awesome movie. It is by Tony Scott, Ridley Scott's brother. Made some pretty awesome movies besides this, such as like,
oh my god, this cast.
Like True Romance. Yeah, the cast of Crimson Tide is awesome.
Steve Zahn. Holy shit, this cast just keeps going.
Yeah, it rules. Tony Scott's one of my favorite directors. If you just go back and like look at stuff like Man on Fire and
Unstoppable, I actually liked. People made fun of that movie, like, because it's the train movie.
I like that movie.
I like that movie.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
I like Tony Scott.
Okay. Executive producer. I need to get out of producer. Give me director. I got really excited for a second. Let me see if it was justified. Ooh, Enemy of the State, huh? I don't know. Damn it! I saw he was an executive producer on Grey, and I was like, ooh, that's one of the early Leslie Nielsen kicking ass movies.
Yep. But his like heavy hitters are The Last Boy Scout, True Romance, Crimson Tide, Man on Fire.
Dude, you better be careful talking about The Last Boy Scout, because that's going to end up on this show if you keep doing it.
I like The Last Boy Scout, so you fucking pick it, man.
Dude, that movie. That's the one, right? You do that one more time, I'm going to fucking kill you or whatever. Yep. And then he does it one more time and he breaks his nose into his head. Yeah,
because he's like knocking the lighter out of his hand, I think, right?
Yeah, or something like that. It involves a lighter, and it's Kim Coates, right?
I think so.
that he does it to. Of course, Kim Coates' name is Chet in that movie.
What like a 4-year span though of The Last Boy Scout to Romance and Crimson Tide? Like that's
Man,
pretty fucking strong for a like 5-year period of time making movies.
yeah, that's pretty good. I'm adding this to my have on the podcast list because I haven't seen this movie in for fucking ever.
Last Boy Scout.
Yeah. This is one of them that me and my dad would watch anytime it was on TV.
Last Boy Scout is one of the ultimate Sunday afternoon movies. Watch it with your dad.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've watched that multiple times, like just chilling with my dad.
It is to Die Hard what Indiana Jones is the Star Wars, right? It's like, how do we get Harrison Ford to keep being Han Solo outside of Star Wars? So let's create Indiana Jones. Like, this was, how do we get another Die Hard movie that's not related to Die Hard?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's great. I don't think I ever knew until now that Tony Scott was related to Ridley Scott.
Yeah,
Scott's not that uncommon of a last name, so I didn't think anything of it.
He was, I believe, his younger brother. Yeah.
Ooh, 2012. Oh no, 68's too young.
Yeah, it's a sad story.
That's too
I'll
young.
talk about a little bit. He committed suicide.
Oh
in a really,
no.
Yeah, really tragic way. It's a bummer of a story because he was always a director I really liked. And like I remember hearing that, and then like specifically, the junk food cinema guys like Cargill and Salisbury.
Yeah,
they're massive Tony Scott fans, and I was listening to their podcast like, when he had killed himself, and it was like such a fucking bummer because the people that are in like that kind of like vein of like film criticism, like these types of movies like Man on Fire and stuff like that, they were fucking devastated because they love so much of his stuff. Like,
man, yeah, I didn't know that. 988 if you're in crisis. Call
exactly.
or text or chat online with 988. That is the crisis hotline.
Yeah, gone too soon because the man was
permanent solution to a temporary problem.
The man was super talented. It's such a bummer because I'd like to still be able to go see new Tony Scott movies, man. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
But man, I'm excited to watch Crimson Tide again. It's been a few years since I've seen it. I remember last time I watched it, kind of like shortlisting it for the show and want to get it on here eventually. So I'm excited to go back and check it out. Let me real quick pull up where it is streaming, just in case it's like on HBO or something like that.
So that
Crimson
means I already know
Tide.
what my next pick is then, because I'm having the Christmas pick, it looks like.
There you have it. So it is streaming right now through the Roku channel.
Oh no.
It's rentable through
Oh my God.
Apple and Amazon, but right now it's kind of cool. So it's $3.99 to rent, or you can just buy it for $4.99. So I will probably just be buying it for the extra $1 on Apple.
Even if I never watch it again, that seems like a better deal.
Yeah, you should. Just might as well, It's a fucking $1 to own it. And then if you do like it, you have it for later.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
all right. Yeah.
I guess there's nothing else to say, but Das Boot!
Das Boot.
God damn it, this movie. I'm wrong. I take it all back. I might watch it again. I don't know. I might try watching it.
You're watching it again tonight. Just gonna watch it again right now.
Hey, my computer's gonna be outputting a lot of shit for a while, so I'll have time.
I knew what I was doing the whole time.